Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Pitt versus Florida college basketball matchup on Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. Of course, I do tons of free picks every day, but the games I like the best, the ones I'm betting, are the ones you find at our website under the Premium Picks tab. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make larger bets. If you make big bets, you got to text that number that's on the screen. They're not available on the website, so you got to text the number if you bet big. But let's get to this one. Pitt taking on Florida. Pretty interesting matchup. Of course, Pitt is a team that has racked up a lot of wins in recent years, but not a ton to show for it out there on the board. Of course, losing in the postseason last year to Xavier when they went beyond. But Pitt's like a 20-win team every single season under Capel. But the issue is that most of the time it's seen against lesser competition, and when they're called upon against the better competition, they generally have not stepped it up, like we saw in those games against Miami and Duke last season. And it was Duke in the ACC tournament that knocked them out and beat them up pretty good in that game, and they were only getting 5.5. No luck in that situation. But I think Pitt once again enters this game. They're hopeful. Last time out against Jacksonville, put up 107. They played Florida Gulf Coast, Binghamton, North Carolina A&T. Now you kind of exactly see the exact path that we've seen with Pitt, playing these soft out-of-conference schedules. And now they're actually playing in a Thanksgiving holiday tournament. So maybe they'll play some stiffer competition. Maybe the committee will take notice of this Pitt Panthers team, or maybe we'll see exactly what they're made of, and maybe they'll be exposed as maybe not quite all that. Florida coming off of a big win over Florida State. Of course, while Florida State is in somewhat of a downward pattern, still it is a rivalry game. So routing your rival, nothing wrong with that. And I think Florida trying to get things going in the right direction, after that opening loss against Virginia, hopes were so high going into that game that I think that's why it kind of sucked the life out of them a little bit. They had opened against Loyola Maryland, had looked pretty sharp, didn't cover the spread in that game, but then against Virginia, they were favored in that game against the Cavaliers, and while it was only a 3-point loss, they were pretty much suffocated by that Virginia defense. We know that Florida has better athletes than that. We know they have a better coach than that. And certainly, when it comes to recruiting, they have all kinds of players on this team. We'll have to see if they can put it together in this one. It should be a pretty good test for both these teams. But at the same time, I just think Florida is the better team and they're the more talented team. And you guys know I'm a Miami fan, so you rarely hear me say anything like that. But I'm going to take the Florida Gators in this one, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, check out our betting tools at Sports Chat Place. They're 100% free. They tell you how often historically all the bets on the board today have hit. Then they compare them with today's odds, compiling a list for you of the most favorable bets on the board.